Namaste, you're on the Nation at 5. I'm Anand Narsimhan coming to you live from the newsroom here at CNN News 18. Ladies and gentlemen, the ban on the PFI, the Popular Front of India, its affiliates, fronts and other related organizations is comprehensive. The government has already moved in to tell state police chiefs and of course state governments to start cracking down on PFI operations in their respective areas of jurisdiction. The government has also turned around and advised that bank accounts should be frozen of those members who are active with the PFI or accounts that belong to these fronts and organizations. So cripple the unit, ensure that there is no access to funds, but more importantly, start seizing and locking down their operational areas, their offices, etc. All of this under Section 3 and 4 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. CNN News 18 has also learned that post the government, that is the centre, banning the organization for 5 years, its affiliates, its fronts, all for 5 years, for a period of 5 years. Some of the states have also moved in to declare PFI and its affiliates, its fronts, and also those who are working with them as unlawful associations. So that's what they have done. This has been done by states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. But it doesn't stop here, ladies and gentlemen. Even as this domestic and internal crackdown and quite literally a surgical strike internally, that's what the likes of Narottam Mishra, Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh, have called it. And so have Sunil Deodhar, the National Secretary of the BJP. But more importantly, along with this crackdown, it's the relationship and affinity to radical terrorist groups and their ideology that is very clearly moving towards a pan-Islamic intent. That is what has put the spotlight on the PFI and its workings. Now the investigative agencies are setting up the foundations to establish this organization's intent itself as nefarious, something that needed or with the intent of changing the very DNA of Bharat, and that too by aligning with entities who have been proscribed the world over. Entities like the Al-Qaeda, entities like the Jamaatul Mujahideen Bangladesh, entities like the Daesh or the ISIS. And that's where comes this big development. Mega CNN News 18 exclusive, explosive details that link this unlawful organization and unlawful association with radical rabid terror entities, which are themselves a bane on humanity. CNN News 18 has accessed exclusive details of the NIA and the Delhi Special Cell investigation into the PFIs and its various affiliates and fronts and organizations with the Daesh or the ISIS. Now, this is what Arunima has been able to get, and there are 3 important cases. The cases are largely with respect to PFI cadre in Kerala. The NIA investigation, this is what the ISIS module that was busted in Kerala for an anti-India plot. The suspect, Omar al-Hindi, organized an arms training camp. Omar Hindi was initially radicalized by the PFI. Omar was active in PFI's overseas wing, India Fraternity Forum. Suspect Safwan worked as a designer for a PFI mouthpiece. Safwan actively prepared and spread ISIS propaganda. Safwan was trained by PFI's parent organization, the NDF. Arunima now joins us live. Arunima, it doesn't stop with these 2 individuals. There are at least 15 of them, and some of them who are either killed in action while serving the ISIS, and others who are still with the ISIS.
Yes, and this is the evidence that NIA and the central government are going to put before the tribunal, which will ultimately uphold the government's decision to declare PFI an unlawful organization. That's the procedure under UAPA. You have to go to a tribunal. So while PFI, SDPI, CFI, the Campus Front of India have all been saying we are going to challenge this in the court of law, the government is confident that if that challenge comes, they will be able to defend it. You just mentioned Omar and Safwan. What is it that they're standing accused of? In the investigation, it has come up that these 2 had actually planned to carry out attacks against foreigners, especially Jews visiting the Vattakanal area near Kodaikanal. They also wanted to carry out attacks against senior police officers and Muslims who belong to the Ahmadiyya sects, as well as judges, to send a message. And you just read out to them how they were attached with the Popular Front of India. Omar, the charge is that he arranged conspiracy meetings for ISIS. He arranged physical tactical training to the group members who wanted to join ISIS, and he was radicalized by Popular Front of India at his native place. So that is case number one. The second case is that of one Shah Jahan. This is from the year 2006 when he joined the National Democratic Front. That was the precursor to Popular Front of India. He actually travelled on a fake passport to Turkey, and in this, the allegation is he was helped by even a head constable of the Kerala police. So the PFI network actually encompasses not just well-educated people in the private sector, but perhaps some people who are working with the government as well, some people in the police service. The third case about which they're talking is that the case which is called the Vallapattanam ISIS case. This is of 2017. The NIA got information that one Hamza, who was a Gulf returnee, was recruiting Keralite youths to travel to Syria, to travel to Afghanistan. He was arranging fake passports for them. He was arranging fake documents. There were travel agents who were on board, and these were all part of the PFI radicalization module. People who were regularly meeting up at PFI premises, getting trained by them, getting brainwashed by them. So this is the evidence that the central government is going to put forward to prove that PFI indeed is a dangerous organization, unlawful organization, collaborating with ISIS, and therefore deserves to be declared unlawful.
Right. Just stay with us, Arunima. We've got Pathikrit Payne also joining us. Pathikrit, so 2006 onwards, this organization and its members have been working with entities like the ISIS. 2016, 2017, strong cases. The PFI in the past has said if some of its members are doing something wrong, how can you blame the whole organization? The other question that begets itself is that if the NIA was aware that these things were happening since 2016, 2017, why wait until September 2022?
Yeah, Anand, first of all, if you look at it, what happened in 2018, in Jharkhand, PFI was banned, but unfortunately, the Jharkhand High Court actually stayed that ban order. So I think the agencies from then onwards learned that they have to have a far more comprehensive, foolproof case in place before they can go for further ban. Number two, yes, it is true. If you look at the nature of the beast, they will keep on mutating. They have been sending their cadre to ISIS for a long period of time, and now that is one part of the story where they would invariably be one of the reasons why they have been banned. But the other two important things that has to be understood. Number one, there is ED involvement in the investigation as well, because under the PMLA they have been getting funds from dubious places abroad, and from that they are bringing the money inside India through Hawala routes, which they have camouflaged in a very, very sophisticated manner. And that kind of money laundering is always done for nefarious activities. That's number two. Number three, of course, is the fact that of their association with certain organizations. It is not just ISIS, it is the organizations like IHH, which is an alleged NGO, linked to both Al-Qaeda and the Turkish intelligence agency called MIT. So if you are, collaborating with the intelligence agency of a foreign country, and then you are going there and you're getting funds, you're getting training. Remember, Istanbul was the hub for all the transit of all elements who are going to Syria for fighting on behalf of ISIS. And, in case of PFI also, they went to Istanbul. So when you are collaborating with a foreign intelligence agency, you invariably will be banned. But it takes time to gather the evidence. As you have also mentioned in the past, this is a very dynamic and a sophisticated organization. They have learned how to stay below the radar, and that's how they have camouflaged themselves. So I think it took a little time on the part of the agencies also to create the case. Now the case as it stands, it will be banned. The ban will be, I'm sure, upheld in the court of law. But the nature of the organization is such, Anand, that it will mutate even again. It will mutate even again. ISIS, when it was dismantled and destroyed in Syria, they asked their members to go back and do lone wolf attacks. The same possibility remains in this case as well. PFI for a long period of time stated that it is the individuals who did it, not PFI. But the kind of sophisticated organization that they have helped to back them all the time, this time they will be finding it very difficult to steal the organization.
Well, we put out the first case.